turning what you know into an online product, whether it's a course, ebook, videos, audios, and marketing and teaching people how to, and then marketing that out to the marketplace.
Okay, now before we go to the next question, I just want to follow up on that because we spoke a week or so ago about the fact that you have turned your love of fishing into something that can ultimately lead to profits. Will you just give us a quick overview of that?
Yeah, well, I go fishing because I want to reduce my blood pressure, and it helps me to relax. Well, during the time I go fishing, I videotape myself fishing and the fish I'm catching. And suddenly I realized that there were people online on YouTube who watch fishing shows. So I started doing YouTube videos about fishing and about specific lures, line, reels, unbundling everything that I do and talking about those individual things. And found out that there are audiences out there that are interested in all of these individual things, and they want to buy those things based on my recommendation. So I started recommending products and I started making sales. Then because I have my own channel, I created my own brand. I started creating t-shirts around my fishing channel. And so I now start selling t-shirts to people based on my brand and my style. So I took the idea of fishing, I unbundled everything, and now I can sell and market the individual things and make money from it.
Wow.
Johnny, I'm so busy over here unbundling. That is like, for our listeners, that was like gold that he just dropped there. You listen to that, unbundle your skill set. That is just, I'm like, really, whew, okay. Johnny, you are an accredited speaker with Toastmasters International, and as here with Valda and I, also accredited speakers, we know the value of communication, and we brought it up often on this podcast about the value of communication. Talk to our listeners from your perspective about how Toastmasters can be beneficial in communication and change.
Well, first, as a business person, as a person that ascends to higher levels in their organization or group, you're not going to be in those higher spots because of your technical ability, but your communication skill, the ability to influence, persuade, and inspire others. That's why having effective communication skills, joining Toastmasters, can be a valuable asset to any business professional that's out there, because that's what happens at the end of the day. You're not doing the work. You are helping others do the work. You are working with them. You're giving them feedback. You're trying to help them become better. And that's why you have to be better with your communication skills. Also, communication skills support when you're going through change, because you have to now communicate out to people how to deal with the changes that their organization might be facing, such as we're going from where we're in the office to we're now virtual. Well, how do you keep productivity up? You have to develop the communication skills so that you can communicate the privilege of working at home and the benefit of working at home. And these are things that you learn through Toastmasters, but it's also, these are things that you grow into as you develop your communication skills.
Now, I know that one other thing about Toastmasters that you might not have mentioned, but I know you've been all over the place as a result of being in Toastmasters. I remember first meeting you at our annual conference that you did with our district director, Cindy Martin, probably about 6 years ago. And you came and led a session there. So I got a chance to learn, to have what I know enhanced, because Toastmasters know about other Toastmasters. And for business people out there, when Toastmasters before the pandemic had nearly 360,000 members and growing every day in 140 plus countries around the world, that's a way to really help you elevate your levels of everything that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, this is something else that a lot of people don't realize, is this famous phrase, Toastmasters have jobs. You don't know who you might meet within Toastmasters. A new business partner, a new networking opportunity where you could have a new career path. You never know who you might meet within the organization, and having the Toastmaster connection is a great segue into doing business with new people, because they know that you share the same values and beliefs as they do by being a part of Toastmasters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Johnny, when we, and I appreciate you saying all of that, because I like, Toastmasters, they have jobs. This is so true. Yeah. So many of our listeners who are listening today to this podcast, this topic of change, what words of wisdom would you say to those who are gearing up to elevate their levels of leadership? What words of wisdom?
I would say to be clear on what your vision of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish is. Be very clear about what you want to see yourself accomplish, so that when opportunities wrapped in change come at you, you can see the opportunity within it. When a person can't see where they want to go clearly and the opportunities that they want to pursue, when new things come wrapped as a problem or wrapped in change, it's very difficult for a person to do something about it. So that's the biggest thing. And being in leadership, that's what we want from our leaders, to have a great vision of what's next or what they want to see happen. And if they can do nothing but give us one step forward, that's enough. But just be clear on where we're trying to go and give us that step.
Wow. I know that, you talked about the 3 H's earlier. Would you say those again? I just love those when you were talking about it's either.
Well, when people resist change, it's because they have hurts, habits, and hangups. In the past, something's hurt them. And so because of that hurt, they resist the thing that's coming at them. Then all of a sudden, they develop a habit that protects them from that thing. And then when you try to come along to help them get over it, they get hung up on that thing again. They have hurts, they have habits, and they have hang-ups. And so that's why people find it so difficult. That's why the language that you speak to people makes a difference. If I tell someone, I'm here to help you embrace change, hurts, habits, and hang-ups kick in. If I come here and say, I'm here to help you guys make a transition, you don't have the same hurts, habits, and hang-ups that are kicking in when I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the language. That's why I say when it comes to change, before you start talking technical stuff, you got to get the language right. And so that's why a lot of times when people hear me speak, I don't start with stories. I start with structure. I say we have to think a certain way before what I'm going to say is going to help you. So I always establish this parameter of thought, and then we go into here's how you implement the thing.
Okay, awesome.
Well, Johnny, Transition Man, it has been a pleasure, and I'm so inspired. I know there's other people that are listening to this that may want to reach out and get in touch with you. What's the best way for them to reach you?
The best way for them to reach me, they can email me at johnny@transitionman.com. That's TRANSITION, man, MAN.com. Or I'm going to shock them all. They can call me, and I actually answer the phone. My number is 630-460-3279. I'm happy to talk to them about what they've heard on this program. I have books, audios, and material, but I tend to like to talk to people first so that I can recommend the right educational materials to them.
Wow. Well, thank you. You have indeed shocked them all, but I'm sure they're very happy, and I hope that your phone rings off the hook for the next few days, Johnny. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And thank all of you for being here as we elevate you, as we give you practical content that inspires, and while we commit to elevating the next generation of women in leadership. I'm Valda Ford.
And I'm Rochelle Rice.
And if you cannot find Johnny, you can find us. It is always a pleasure to be here doing so much good that elevates the world. Thank you so much. See you next time.